One thing about the presidency is that the president is the citizen 001. The president is the consumer of information 001. The president is literally 001 in the country. When it comes to healthcare, he receives the best of healthcare. When it comes to security, he receives the best. When it comes to living, he lives in State House, which is one of the best buildings in this country. However, for one of Kenya's former presidents, that is the founding father of the country, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, he was failed. While he was supposed to receive the best of everything, one important service that he was supposed to receive the best of, he was failed by his close aides. Which is that service? That service is healthcare. And now one of his former aides, that is Lee Njiro, in his memoir, The President's Pressman, explains how people close to the former president, that is Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, neglected the former president, and without saying it directly, he fingers them, almost accusing these close aides of contributing, that is through their neglect, to the death of Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. My name is Elvis Omondi. Remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel where we discuss matters history, matters politics, and current affairs in our country, Kenya. So today I'm going to read for you an excerpt from Lee Njiru's President's Pressman, where he explains the neglect, health-wise, of Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. You see, Mzee Kenyatta was daft. Nobody knew that he was at one time a carpenter and later a water meter reader with the Nairobi City Council. He had acquired great charisma through his political success and creation of a cult of his own personality. Like Adolf Hitler, he had deliberately nurtured the status of an infallible superman until Kenyans willingly accepted the outrageous estimation and glorification of himself. The truth, as Winston Churchill was wont to say, is so valuable that it has to be protected with a bodyguard of lies. The truth is that Mzee Kenyatta was mortal and fallible, but he was uncomfortable with these truisms. This is where traditional dances and school choirs came in handy. They were coached by professional composers whose recurring theme was to lionize Mzee Kenyatta. They just went short of calling him a national miracle, like the first president of Equatorial Guinea, Francisco Macias Nguema. So soothed into a state of near nirvana, Mzee was in a world of his own. Old age, poor health, and memory lapses made the matter worse. As Mzee Kenyatta's handlers got deeply engrossed in merrymaking, the old man was left alone to contend with the vicissitudes of age, such as arthritis, poor eyesight, a weak heart, and incapacity to govern. There was no resident physician. Neither was there a cardiologist to respond to any medical emergency. All Mzee was given by his government was a poorly equipped nurse, Isabella Wangoi. Whenever we traveled outside Nairobi, Wangoi had to hike a lift from other departments. It was interesting that in the presidential escort, there was a team of policewomen that had self-drive official cars. These women were purely for decorative purposes, but nobody found it necessary to provide a special vehicle for Wangoi, who was supposed to undertake a critical function of handling the medical needs of a sickly president. Having visited two presidential palaces in Malawi's Blantyre and Lilongwe cities, I realized the shameful neglect Mzee Kenyatta endured in his last days. In the Malawi palaces, emergency alarm switches were in every room used by the head of state. But in Kenya, the people around Kenyatta, especially in latter years of his presidency, were uncaring and spent most of their time moving around the country looking for valuables to plunder like rogue elephants let loose on a maize plantation. Mzee was to a large extent surrounded by people with selfish agenda. These handlers used Mzee Kenyatta's name as a meal card. His welfare to them was of no consequence. What a terrible irony. An explanation of the neglect of Mzee Jomo Kenyatta in his latter days by Linjiru in his memoir, The President's Pressman. To get more insights about this book, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Better still, you can get a copy of this book at Nuria Bookstore. And this is a copy, this is rafubooks.com. That is where I bought this copy, but I believe it is also at Nuria Bookstore, and this one came with a bookmarker. So get your copy of Linjiru's President's Pressman.